Hello children, in the last video we have seen about what is meant by reproduction, isn't it? Let us recall about that first. Reproduction, it is the process of giving rise to an offspring, isn't it? So, it is very important for the continuation of a species. Then we have seen about modes of reproduction. There are two modes of reproduction. They are sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. So in the last video, we have seen the definition of sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction, isn't it? So what is meant by sexual reproduction? The type of reproduction which involves two parents to give rise to an offspring is called as sexual reproduction, isn't it? So here the males and females, that is the two parents, have different reproductive parts or organs. We have seen in the last video. Yes. Then asexual reproduction also we have seen, such as budding, fission, etc. Yes. So in this video we can see about the sexual reproduction, how sexual reproduction will take place between two parents which give rise to an offspring. And you know that there are different reproductive organs for males and females. Yes, so about that also we are going to see briefly in this video. Okay, so first we can see about male reproductive system. The male reproductive system consists of a pair of testes, a pair of sperm duct and a penis. Okay, so here you can see the structure of human male reproductive organs. So it consists of pair of testes, a pair of sperm duct. Here you can see a pair of sperm duct, then a penis. Okay, so this is the parts of male reproductive system. Okay, so what are the parts of male reproductive system? Pair of testes, pair of sperm ducts and a penis. Now, where is this testis located? This testis, you know, it is a male reproductive organ which is located outside the male body. Okay, it is located or it is present outside the male body. And what is the function of testes? Sperms are produced in testes. What is meant by sperms? Sperms are the male gametes. Okay. Sperms are the male gametes which is produced in testes. Then testosterone. Testosterone, it is the primary male sex organ which is produced by the testes. And what are the functions of testosterone? It is responsible for the development of sex organs. Okay, so testosterone, it is the primary male sex hormone which is responsible for the development of sex organs, and it is also involved in the production of sperms and also develop secondary sexual characters in male. Okay, so testosterone, it is the primary male sex hormone which is responsible for the development of sex organs and also involved in the production of sperms, also the development of secondary sexual characters in male. Now let's see about sperms. What is meant by sperm and what is the structure of sperm? Sperms are the male gametes which is produced by testes in humans. So millions of sperms are produced by the testes in a day. Okay, in a day, one day, millions of sperms are produced by the testes. And each sperm is a single microscopic cell. Okay, now we are going to see the structure of sperm. Okay, so sperm is a single microscopic cell which is having, so it is a cell, male gamete, it is a male sex cell which is having head, a middle piece and a tail as its parts. Okay, it has three parts: head, middle piece and tail. Now let's see the structure of sperm. So here you can see the structure of sperm. Sperm, it is the male gamete. Okay, it contains head contains nucleus, and it also contains middle piece, and there is a tail. So head contains a nucleus with a single set of chromosomes. Okay, sperm contain head contains a nucleus with a single set of chromosomes. The middle piece contains a large number of mitochondria that provide energy during active movement. Okay, so middle piece of the sperm, it consists of large number of mitochondria. So what is meant by mitochondria? I have studied in your previous classes. This mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Yes, it provides energy. Okay, so it provides energy during active movement of the sperm. And sperm is a motile gamete. So motile means it can move. Okay, it will show motility, or it can move, which moves through the female reproductive tract with the help of its tail. Okay, so you know sperm contain head, middle piece and tail. Yes, so head contain nucleus which contains single set of chromosome, and the mitochondria present in the middle piece which will provide energy, and the tail help for the movement of the sperm through the female reproductive tract. Now let's see about female reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, a pair of fallopian tubes which is also called as oviducts, and a single uterus. Okay, so female reproductive system consists of pair of ovary. You can see here the structure of female reproductive organ in human. So here we can see the pair of ovary. On both the side there is the ovary, left and right ovary, and there is oviduct. Oviduct is also known as fallopian tube. Okay, this is the fallopian tube which is also known as oviduct. So pair of fallopian tubes, and there is a bag-like structure called only one single uterus in the female reproductive organ. Now ova means egg cell which are produced by ovaries. Okay, so ova means a female gamete which is produced by ovaries. Fallopian tubes or oviducts which will carry these ova or the egg cell or the female gametes from ovaries to the uterus. Okay, so ova are produced by ovaries, and fallopian tubes will carry the ova from ovaries to the uterus. Uterus holds the growing embryo or the fetus, and thus helps in holding the pregnancy. Okay, so uterus, it will hold the growing uterus and help in holding the pregnancy. Now estrogen. So what is meant by estrogen? It is the primary female sex hormone secreted by ovaries. Okay, so estrogen is the primary female sex hormone secreted by ovaries. So what is the function of estrogen? It is responsible for the development of female reproductive organs, secondary sexual characteristics, and development of female gametes. Okay, so this estrogen is responsible for the development of female reproductive organ, secondary sexual characters, and development of female gamete, that is ovum, and maintains the menstrual cycle in female. Now, ovum. Ovum means it's a egg cell. Ovum, it is the female gametes. Okay, it is the egg cell which is produced in the female by female reproductive organ called ovary. Yes, so ovum is produced by ovary. Ovary produces the female gametes known as ovum or ova. In human being, single mature egg or ovum is released into the oviduct or the fallopian tube by the respective side ovary every month. So there is a pair of ovary. Yes. So right ovary and left ovary. Yes. So every month there will be a one single mature egg will be produced by the respective side ovary every month. Okay, so right or left ovary will be producing every month one single mature egg. So the ovum is a single cell and it is much larger than sperm. Okay, ovum, it is a single cell which is larger than sperm. And ovum is a non-motile and it is carried to the uterus by the oviduct. Okay, ovum, it is a non-motile and it is carried to the uterus by the oviduct. So with the help of fallopian tube or oviduct, this ovum which is non-motile is carried to the uterus. In human being, single matured egg is released into the oviduct by one of the ovaries every month, and uterus is the part of the female reproductive system where the development of embryo will take place. Okay, you know that. Now uterus, it is the part of female reproductive system where the development of embryo will take place. Okay, here in uterus what will happen? The sperm and ova, they will fuse and form an embryo, and development of embryo also will take place in a uterus. Now both sperm and ova are single celled structure. Now let's see about fertilization. Fusion of the ovum and the sperm is called fertilization. So what is meant by fertilization? Fusion of the ovum and the sperm is called fertilization. So here you can see the picture. So the sperm will come to fuse with the ovum and form a zygote. Okay, so that process is called as fertilization. Now, fertilization which take place inside the female body is called as internal fertilization. Okay, so the fertilization which take place inside the female body is called internal fertilization. Internal fertilization occurs in many animals like humans, cows, dogs and hens. Okay, so internal fertilization, it occurs in many animals including humans, cows, dogs and hens. So you will be surprised to know that in many animals fertilization take place outside the body of the female. Okay, so outside, if the fertilization take place outside the body of female, then it is called external fertilization. Okay, so let us find out how this happens. Okay, so during spring or rainy season, frogs and toads, they move to ponds and slow flowing streams. Yes, when the male and female come together in water, female lays hundreds of eggs. Okay, so it is not covered by a shell. Okay, it is covered very thin. Okay, it's a layer of like jelly. Okay, layer of jelly holds the egg together and provides protection towards the eggs. Okay, As the eggs are layered, the male deposits sperms over them, and each sperm swim in water with the help of its long tail. The sperm come in contact with the egg. This result in fertilization. So this type of fertilization, in which fusion of male and female gametes take place outside the body of female, is called as external fertilization. Understood, children? So when the male and female the toads or frogs come together in water, the female lays hundreds of eggs, okay, and a layer of jelly will hold the egg together and provide protection to the eggs, okay. As the eggs are laid, the male deposits sperms over them, and each sperm will swim in water with the help of its long tail, and the sperm come in contact with the eggs, okay. So this result in fertilization. So the type of fertilization which take place outside the body of the female is called as external fertilization. So it is very common in aquatic animals such as fish, starfish, etc. Okay. Now during fertilization, what will happen? The nuclei of the sperm and the egg are fused to form a single nucleus. Okay, so nuclei of sperm and egg, they will fuse and form a single nucleus. This fertilized egg is called as zygote. Okay, so now they both will fuse, nuclei of sperm and egg, they will fuse and form a zygote. The fertilized egg called zygote. Now what will happen? The zygote divides repeatedly. Okay, it will divide repeatedly to give rise to the ball mass of cells. Okay, mass of cells means large number of cells together. If they will group together. So here you can see zygote development, they all divides repeatedly and give rise to a ball of cells. Okay, the cells then begin to differentiate into various tissue. This developing structure is called as an embryo. So here in the picture you can see the zygote formation and development of an embryo from the zygote. Yes. So after that the balls of cell will be formed, and these cells will differentiated and form a embryo which will be developing the uterus. Now this embryo, the developing embryo, it will get implanted. Implanted means placed within the wall of the uterus. So the wall of the uterus is called as endometrium for its further development. Okay, for the further development, this embryo get implanted within the wall of the uterus, that is endometrium, for further development. So the stage of the embryo in which all the body parts are identifiable is called as fetus. Okay, so fetus means the stage of embryo where all the body parts are identifiable is called as identifiable. That means we can identify all the body parts in the stage of embryo. That stage is called as fetus. Now we have learned that some animals give birth to young ones, while some animals lay eggs which later develop into young ones. Yes. So based on that, we can classify the animals into viviparous and oviparous. Okay. So viviparous means the animals which give birth to young ones are called as viviparous animals. Okay, the animals which give birth to young ones are called as viviparous animals. The animals which lay eggs are called as oviparous animals. Okay, The animal which give birth to young ones are called as viviparous animals. The animals which lay eggs are called as oviparous animals. Now, we know there is stages in the different stages are there when there is a growth from young one to adult. Yes, so new individual or new organism or new young one which are born or catched from the eggs continue to grow till they become adult. Yes, in some animals the young one may look very different from the adults. Yes, so for that we can see one example. It is frog. Okay, so in the new organism which are born or catched from the eggs continue to grow till they become adult. In some animals the young ones may look very different from the adults. Example, frog. Frog is example for such a development. Okay, so now let's see the different stage of frog. First you can see here eggs. So eggs will develop into tadpole, which is also called as larva. Then it grow. Then first early tadpole, then again it develop into late tadpole, mature tadpole. After that it develop into an adult frog. Okay. Similarly, the caterpillar of silkworm also look very different from the adult moth. Okay, so you must have seen beautiful moth emerging out of the cocoon. Yes, in the case of tadpole also, they transform into adults capable of jumping and swimming. Yes, so the transformation of larva into an adult through drastic changes is called as metamorphosis. Okay, so what is meant by metamorphosis? The transformation of larva into an adult through drastic changes is called as metamorphosis. Okay, so this is about the difference. That means when there is an new young one in some animal, the young one may look very different from the adult, and at a certain stage they will cross certain stages and develop into an adult. Yes, so that is called, that is the transformation of larva into an adult through drastic changes is called as metamorphosis. Hope that you have understood about the sexual reproduction in human being, as well as how the young one get transferred into adults, and based on the animal giving birth to young ones, we can classify it into two. What are they, children? Viviparous and oviparous animals. Okay, if you have any doubt you can ask, children. Thank you.